I don't know what's going to happen with your party. It seems to be all over the place.
I've always been on the backbenchers, so there's nowhere else for you to go apart from the backbenchers. Look, I'm sad that Robert has resigned. Immigration is a massive issue, which is causing huge problems all over Europe. It's going up 80% in many EU states. It's already down a third from the small boat crossings in the UK. So we're succeeding in doing stuff about it. We're now getting an important and highly visible part of that policy, the Rwanda policy, hopefully off the ground. But what's very clear, look, I listened with interest to what some of those folks were saying, Ian, and I'm sorry if they don't feel they can vote Conservative. But when it comes to the middle ground, I really think when it comes to immigration, getting inflation down, getting taxes down, we are where the centre ground is. And the issue is that people want us to deliver on it, and they're frustrated when we don't deliver. Nobody shares that frustration more than me as a Conservative Member of Parliament for the good folks of the Isle of Wight. But I can tell you something, Lib Dems and the Labour Party, you've 5 wasted years, and actually we'd be going massively backwards on all this stuff.
Yeah, and I think many people are kind of sharing that frustration just on the wider issue, Bob, I guess, that who do people vote for? Because there are many natural Conservatives out there that aren't feeling that the Tory party are either any longer Tory, or even the bits that are can't really be trusted. And Rwanda seems to be central to all of this.
But Ian, the issue is the Supreme Court blocked that judgment last time. If you're asking my opinion, I thought it was a very political judgment for one very simple reason that I'm sure you're aware of. Maybe some of your viewers are or aren't. But it's simply put that the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, the global body responsible for refugees, processes refugees in Rwanda. So it's safe enough for them to process refugees, but because they didn't like our policy, they came out against it and said, oh, Rwanda's a dangerous place, when they themselves process the refugees there because they consider it to be a safe place. And our Supreme Court, great respect to the judges, but frankly, I thought it was a political judgment. They used, as you know well, they used that UNHCR evidence to effectively trash this policy. That was a political act, in my opinion, and that's why we're now making this bill watertight. We are absolutely trying to deliver because, frankly, I'm not a professional politician. I only came into Parliament a few years ago. I was a soldier before that. I believe in under-promising and over-delivering, but I certainly don't believe in over-promising and under-delivering.
Do you think, and bearing in mind we're hearing all sorts of rumbles around the party, Suella Braverman gave that speech yesterday in the House, and then Jenrick,
Suella,
of course,
in my opinion,
resigns.
I love Suella. She overplayed her hand.
Is she the next? Yeah, it's interesting you say that because a lot of people would like to see her as the leader. So you're not in that school.
No, and with respect, I don't. After the last couple of weeks, I suspect the amount of people are very small. I'm sorry about that because I really like Suella, but I just thought what she said was a bit OTT. And Ian, again, I just come back to the blunt question here. I think Rishi, I've got no reason to doubt Rishi. When Rishi says, if we go any further, we lose Rwanda, that is such an obvious red line here. We can't have a returns policy or a move to a third country policy if there is no third country.
Talking of blunt questions, has your letter gone into Graham Brady? We're hearing many of them have.
No. I mean, you can, if you want to fill the airways with this, feel free, but you're wasting your time, is my humble opinion.
Listen, I know you're a very loyal and the true sense of the word honourable that gets used. I get that, Bob, but we are, there are sort of anecdotal stories out there that Mr Brady is receiving these letters. Now, that would be, let's assume some people have. What are those colleagues of yours that might have sent a letter? What do they want? Do they really want a change of leader before an election?
No, I don't know. And really, I don't think there are many. I've seen, was it Andrea's put it? I mean, please, sorry. People hate divisions. They want united parties who are dealing with stuff. The closer this policy, Ian, gets to being a policy, the more you will see Labour tearing itself apart over this, because Labour have no policies apart from borrowing more, so taxing more with higher inflation. They think if you've got male genitals, you can be a woman and go into women's only spaces, and they want to tax the hell out of people who send their kids to private schools. That is Labour's manifesto so far. We've got to stop fighting ourselves. as the Mail said on its front page today, we have got to take the fight to Labour. To all those folks at home who are knocked off, frankly, who are small C Conservatives, however they vote, we are trying to deliver a sensible middle ground approach, by which I mean we are trying to do what the country needs. Control our borders. And yes, that means getting legal migration down as well, Ian. Absolutely. Personally, I tried bringing in getting my bill for a 10-minute rule bill this morning, and we're still trying to see where it comes in the ballot.
Sure.
I'm trying to get a 10-minute rule bill to have a migration cap that Parliament annually votes on, over which it will be illegal to go. Because that will absolutely focus minds. And I think that is the sort of pledge that we need to be making to the good folks of the United Kingdom, and indeed my folks down on the Isle of Wight, to make sure they can trust us. We are trying to move the dial on this stuff. We are trying to deliver. But if we go any further on a hardline position, withdrawing from the ACHR, which I personally don't have a problem with, but a lot of my colleagues do, we lose Rwanda.